Very good afternoon to all the CA Foundation students. Welcome to BRICS Academy. This is a revision mode of CA Foundation economics class. Students who are writing in the month of June 24th. Last minute, if in case you look at some topics and chapters and some concepts, you can easily manage securing 80 to 90 marks in economics. I'm recording this lecture as a classroom lecture only, though it is like online mode, but I'm telling you this is going to help you. So in markets, in economic syllabus, you have got 5 chapters. First one is Introduction to Economics. Second one is Consumer Behavior. In that you have demand, supply, and also utility analysis. Then the third one, you have got laws of production and cost analysis. And the fourth one, you have got markets. And fifth one, you have got business cycles. Boys and girls, be very careful. In your economics entire syllabus, maximum number of questions you will see from second chapter, third chapter, and fourth chapter. Second chapter is consumer behavior. Third chapter is loss of production and cost analysis. And the fourth chapter is markets. This is Babu Raipudi, Director BRICS Academy. Please do watch these lectures, last minute revision. It will help you a lot. If in case you've understood very well also, it will help you. Okay, this is my 27th year of teaching in economics. You will definitely understand and you will find some use of this topic. Okay, CA Foundation Economics upcoming exam June 24th, 2023. Syllabus may you have, I'm straight taking points from ICA book only. Okay, directly from ICA book I'm taking. So make sure if you have an ICA book, yes, you just see ICA book. If you don't have ICA book, I'll also make notes, some notes here, please. So if you look at this chart, price determination and different market situation. First of all, listen to me carefully. When you are listening to this class, make sure you wear headphones. You wear headphones and listen properly and listen with interest. Don't chat with anyone on WhatsApp and don't do anything. In fact, whether you like this class or you don't like this class, if you started watching this class, first start watching this class completely and listen to every point that I'm talking. All right. So when it comes to markets, we have 4 important markets in your syllabus. Number one, I mean, categorically, we have only 2 important markets. Number one, perfect competition. Number two, imperfect competition. Under imperfect competition, we have got 3 types of market systems that are given in your syllabus. That is monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly. Listen more because I write less and I teach more. That is the level of experience I have. So make sure you listen more and understand more, because your regular economics like ICSE syllabus and CBSE syllabus, state syllabus look like same, but whereas when it comes to the syllabus that is given in CA Foundation, a little different. Maybe concept will not be different, but concept is little different. The approach is different. The way of asking questions different. So that's why always I advise students go according to ICA syllabus. Even if I give you material, I have to prepare material from this book only. You go by the institute material. All the CA students learn one thing always, even if the teachers have given you material or me or anybody, for the sake of you to understand material will be given by most of the academies. But my sincere advice is please go through ICA material. All right. Then we have what is this meaning of market. So much of theory is there. Obviously, the moment you look at this theory, you will lose interest, right? So I understand one thing in economics language. When we talk about market, it is not necessarily a place where goods are sold and bought. When I talk about market, it is not necessary where goods and services are sold and bought. It can be a situation where there is a conversation between buyer and seller regarding selling and buying of goods and services. And when we talk about market, there are 3 very important elements. Number one, pricing. Number one, price. Number two, demand. Number 3, supply. From the economics point of view, there are 3 very important elements you have to study in economics. That is price of the product. Number 2, demand of the product. Number 3, supply of the product. So where there is an interaction between seller and buyer, where there's an interaction between seller and buyer, where there is a conversation between seller and buyer with regard to purchase of goods and services, that can be called as a market. So overall general story they gave, but if you could see, this is all general story. This is all general story. Now, second paragraph you see, we need to differentiate between 2 important concepts, namely value in use and value in exchange. So there are two concepts. So you can expect this kind of paragraphs questions. Some products have value. Most of the products have value in use. Some products have value in exchange, but not value in use. Or if in case they have value in exchange or value in use, maybe it is less. I'm taking two examples which Alfred Marshall has taken. Number one, when I talk about water, it has value in use. In other words, more value in use. When it comes to diamonds, we have got more value in exchange. So exchange value is the price that is paid for the product. The use value is basically the utility of the product. That means every product has a utility. And when we talk about utility, in the second chapter, you must have studied, when we talk about utility, we are actually talking about the power of giving a satisfaction to the consumer. Understood? So this line clearly says there's a value in use refers to usefulness or utility. All right. So whatever I'm underlining in the textbook, that only you underline, because I want to revise only from the textbook. Seriously, if there is a graph, I'll draw and explain it. Second, so that means every product may have two important uses. Number one, two important values. Number one, value in use. Value in use of a product is nothing but the utility of a product. When the product has utility, it is the use of the product. This is the one which actually satisfy human wants. The second important thing is value in exchange. When we talk about value in exchange, this is the amount of goods and services that can be obtained with the price. That means value in exchange is basically the price that we pay. Value in use is basically utility of the product that it has. That's all. Rest all. It's a revision class, so let's not go in detail. That is what I want to tell. Next, in economics, we are concerned with only exchange value. That means when I talk about markets in economics, when I talk about products in economics, I'm concerned mostly about the value in exchange. Means I'm concerned about the value of a product that is value of the product that is being paid. That is price mostly. Okay. The next one, if you see, exchange value is determined based in the market where exchange of goods and services takes place. Okay, that means price of the product is determined in the market. So when we talk about market in economics, we actually talk about demand and supply. In the market, when we talk about value of the product, the value of the product in economics context in the markets, it is dependent on demand and supply. It is dependent on demand and supply. Seller will supply the goods, buyer will buy the goods. When buyer buys the goods, which means indirectly he's demanding the goods. All right, that is one thing. So now move on. All these things you can skip, no issues. Then while studying market economy, something is there. In the first chapter, you must have studied three important systems in the economy. That is capitalist system, socialist system, mixed economy system. Capitalist system, socialist system, mixed economy system. What is capitalist system? The system where government interferes very less and everything is in the hands of private people and private people determine everything. So when it comes to capitalist system, that is also called market economy. Why is it called market economy? Because resource allocation, prices of the goods are dependent on demand and supply. When it comes to market economy, which is otherwise called as capitalist system, when it comes to resource allocation, when it comes to price fixing, everything is dependent on demand and supply. Everything is dependent on demand and supply. That's why we also studied in the first chapter that market system has something called price mechanism. What is price mechanism? The interplay of the demand and supply determines the price. Yes. So therefore, straight question you can expect in this lesson, sir, what are the elements? Boys and girls, please listen to me. I'm rushing because it's a revision class. It is not a regular class. It's a regular class. Please do take admission in Bricks Academy. We will definitely give you the best coaching. I take almost 2 papers, economics and law. All right, now my question is, so when you revise, attack straight, what is the point? That too, hardly 10 days classes are there, 10 days exams are away. You can easily remember this. Fresh, you just watch this class and go to exam. Definitely, if in case these concept as it is not appearing in the exam, at least you will be able to recollect things very faster. So there are totally 5 elements in the market. Number 1, buyers and sellers. Number 2, the product. Number 3, the price. Number 4, knowledge about the market conditions. When we talk about knowledge, whether seller knows about the competitors, whether buyer knows about the price. When being a buyer, when I have a knowledge of the price of the products and services, it clearly means I have the knowledge. So how do you get this knowledge about the products, about product features, about variety of products, about anything? How do you get it? You will get it only through information given by the seller. How seller gives an information? Advertisement, etc., etc. So one price for a product, that means we usually talk about price of a particular product at one go. So these are the elements normally we have in this chapter. So remember, if they ask you what are the major elements, essential elements of a market, then you can think about this one, these points, right? Next, when you come down on page number 4.3 in your ICA material, you have something called classification of market. You have something called classification of market. See carefully here. So we have basically two markets here: product markets, factor markets. Product market is the market where products are sold and bought. So simply speaking, water bottle is a product. When this product is sold, then definitely it is called product market. When this product is bought, definitely it is called product market. Then when it comes to factor market, in the first lesson you must have studied, there are 4 factors of production to produce goods and services. That is land, labor, capital, organization. What are those 4? Land, labor, capital, organization. These are called 4 factors of production and also resources. So when we talk about land, labor, capital, organization, provision, then we talk about factor market. So factor market talks about services extended by land, labor, capital. Product market talks about goods and services that are bought. See here, market for goods and services. Understood. Factor market, on the other hand, is related to land, labor, capital, and organ services of these people. So in economics, what is the story? If you want to produce goods and services, or if you want to carry any economic activities, you are supposed to use 4 factors of production. And loss of production also you must have studied: features of land, features of labor, features of capital, features of an entrepreneur, etc. Clear? Now in economic, generally we classify markets on the basis of the following 7 points. Now, number 1, based on the area. If they ask you a question on which of the following basis markets in economics are classified: 1 on the basis of area, like South India, North India, Central India, like this. 1 on the basis of time. We already had studied this. If in case you did not study, if it is there in this market, I'm going to explain. So based on time, we have got very short run, we have got short run, we have got long run, we have got very long run. I repeat, based on time, we have got time element was introduced by Alfred Marshall. Time element, we've got 4 classes of markets. Number 1, very short run market. Number 2, short run market. Number 3, very long run and very long run. Very short run, long run, very long run. Very short run, long run, very long run. Then based on nature of transactions, we have some markets. Based on rules, regulations, there are some markets. There are some markets based on volume of a business. There are some markets based on competition. So most importantly, your questions are going to be revolving around types of markets based on competition. So actually, from the examination point of view, you'll have questions on based on time and based on type of company. In fact, your chapter is completely designed on the basis of competition. That is perfect competition, imperfect competition. Okay, there are 2 markets. All right. Yes. Now, on the basis of geographical areas, so keyword for examination, you are writing MCQ questions in economics, so you must attack the keyword, the logical point of that. So we have a concept called local market. Then what is local market? It says when buyers and sellers are limited to a particular region, it is called. So definitions are very clear. That means you are not finding a seller available across the country. You're not finding the buyer demanding that particular product across the country. You find a seller supplying that particular product in a particular. There are some products which are supplied only in Kerala. They're not available. That particular supplier of that particular product is not available in the other parts of the country. One more keyword. That is one thing. Next one may be the market for perishable goods, the goods which will get spoiled easily. Yes, maybe the goods are bulky. We may not be able to export them. So one is, I mean, where the sellers, buyers are limited to a particular locality, where the goods could be perishable, where the goods could be bulky. Maybe transportation is very costly. That is one reason. Yes. So they have given an example. You see, textbook hairdressers, retailers of narrow customer. Narrow means less number of customers. So I have three important key points from the examination point of view. Number one, the sellers and buyers are limited to a particular locality, which clearly means that particular buyer does not demand that particular product across the country. And that particular seller does not supply across the country. He supplies that product in a particular locality. Second important thing, maybe goods are perishable and maybe goods are bulky. Then it is very difficult for us to move goods from one place to another place. So such kind of goods which have got local demand is called local market. Fair enough. Move on. Next one, regional market cover wide area. Nearby cities, like adjacent cities, part of the states. So some cities, if the market is related to cities, one or two cities like that, it is generally large. This is another keyword. Generally large, and nature of the buyers may vary in demand characteristics, etc. So some example is traditional Assami sari, which is available only in Assam. So simply speaking, regional market is a situation where the product is demanded in that particular region. Regional market is a market where the product is demanded in that particular region only. Where the product is demanded in that particular region. All right, national market is limited to national boundaries. National boundaries in the sense there are some certain textiles in India. There are certain textiles in India. There are certain books in India. There are certain products in India which are demanded only in India. Only in India. Maybe because of our culture. Most of the textiles, especially in South India or India, in other words, sari West example, mostly it is demanded across the country. Yes. So it's a service limited to national boundaries. We can say product has national market. Finish. Next one, international market. Common sense you apply opposite, where the product is demanded internationally. Diamonds are demanded internationally. Phones are demanded internationally. Automobiles are demanded internationally. Watches are demanded internationally. Ornaments are demanded internationally. That is why they have given a word called gold and silver. These are the products which are usually demanded across the nation, across the world. Name itself. Keyword only, remember. Don't waste so much of time on this, because one reading, if you do, almost you're ready for exam. Yes. The above classification has become more or less outdated. Okay. Nowadays, most of the products are sold online. When the products are sold online, most of the products have international market. No, yaar. That is the point. Correct, no? Yes. Yes. Keep the textbook and go through the textbook. Simple logic, I'm telling you. Today you're on 12th of June. 24th is the exam. Every day one subject first you have to pick up. Again next one subject. This is how you have to do. Next one, on the basis of time. Alfred Marshall. So the first question they can ask you, who among the following has introduced time element in economics markets? Alfred Marshall. So based on, Alfred Marshall introduced time elements in markets. Okay, so based on time element, we have actually four types of market: very short period market, long period market, very short period, long period market, and very long run. I'll tell you first thing that you have to understand here. Okay, first thing, keywords you understand. I'll tell you two keywords. So we have very short period market here. 4 points I'm telling you, understand carefully. When you talk about very short run, what does it mean? Supply is fixed. I'm not saying 2 days is very short and 3 days is very short. Supply is fixed. Since why supply is fixed? Because 4 factors are fixed. You cannot change any one of the factors. Land, labor, capital is fixed. You can't increase. You are in such a position where you can't increase 4 factors of production. Then we call it as very short term. And here what happens? Demand changes. Pakka demand changes. Demand in all the market changes. Since demand is changing, iska matlab hai, you understand like this. Demand, supply, take like this. Okay, my demand increased from 100 to 200. My demand increased from 100 to 200. Then my supply could not increase. That means I could not increase the supply. When I am in such a situation where I cannot increase the supply, when there is a change in demand, because demand is not in the hands of you, demand is in the hands of consumer. When the consumer is asking more and more products, if you are not able to increase the supply, if you're not able to increase the supply, then you are in very short term. So demand changes, so you can't change supply. Since you can't change supply, there will be change in price. Simple logic here. In the very short term, I'm in such a position where I can't increase any one of the factors. Since I'm not able to increase the factors, I will not be able to increase the supply. So supply is perfectly inelastic. I can't increase my supply. However, demand changes. When there is a change in demand, I would like to increase my supply. I'm not in a position to increase my supply. My four factors are fixed. Since I'm not able to increase my supply and increase my four factors, what do I do when the demand is jumping? I will try to charge more price. So the price which is changing over here is called market price. The price which is changing over here is called market price. So when you look at market price and this one, if it is this, if the price is like this, it is normal price. Let's say 10 rupees. If the price goes up, down, up, down, up, down like this, this is market price. That means here it is 10 rupees, here it is 5 rupees, here it is again some 15 rupees, here like this. So if there is a fluctuation in the market price, that is, if there is a fluctuation in the price, if there is a fluctuation in the price, that is called market price. So the 4 points I gave you very clearly. Very short term is a situation where supply is fixed, four factors are fixed. Demand is changing, but I'm not able to increase my supply. Since I'm not able to increase my supply, I will only increase my price. Price is very aggressive. Here, price is changing not because of anything, but because of change in. But because of change in what? Demand. So they might ask you, in the very short run, price is changing because of what? Change in demand, not because of change in price. And it's going to be very aggressive. Yes, yes, guys. Yes, 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 yes. Next one we have we have short term, short period market. Understand this. First one, sir, supply can be increased to certain extent. Supply can be increased to certain extent. Sir, how can I increase supply to certain extent? I can increase supply to certain extent because few factors are variable. I can increase supply to certain extent because few factors are variable. Means out of land, labor, capital, and organization, maybe I would be able to change labor and capital. I would be able to change labor and capital. That means this means clearly economic definition of this is basically at least one factor is fixed. At least one factor is fixed. Out of land labor. So let's say I've got four factors. If I change three, it is few. If I change two, it is few. If I change one also, it is few. But if I change all the factors, this becomes all the factors. So therefore, in the short run, I can change few factors, which means at any point of time when I'm able to change three factors, I'm keeping one factors fixed. So the best answer for a short-term definition is basically A, where one factor is fixed. Where one factor is fixed. Got it? Yes. Next one. So here demand is changing. Supply is also changing because supply can be increased to a certain extent. If demand is increased to 200, supply may not be increased to 200. Supply may be increased to 160. Demand is increasing from 100 to 200. Demand is increasing from 100 to 200, whereas supply could be increased only from 100 to a certain extent, that is 160. So still there is a shortage of 40. So therefore, in the short run also price will change. 100% price will change. But here price will be changing in the short run due to demand and supply. Since price is changing anyway, here also we call it as market price. In the examination, if they ask you straight question in which of the following market, you will find market price. Option A, very short run. Option B, short run. Option B, A and B is there. Yes, definitely you can go for A and B. If in case option C, you don't have A and B, the best answer to choose for market price is basically very short term because there is no change in supply and it's going to be very aggressive in very short term. After watching this lecture, please subscribe. If you don't subscribe, how will you know I post anything? Okay. I'm not willing to do any business on this, but I want some students to, especially brick students also, who are writing, and other students also are interested. Maybe you have got some basic doubts. So what is short run? Where supply can be changed to a certain extent, where few factors are variable. In other words, at least one factor is fixed. Since one factor is fixed, since one factor is, few factors are variable, I can increase the supply, but not to a maximum extent. Since I could increase supply to a certain extent, I will definitely increase the price, which means in the short run, also price is being changed. The price which is changed is called as what? Market price. Understood, guys? Yes. Next one, long run production function. Long run, you see, sir, what is this long run? Long run. So long run here, supply can be changed to a maximum extent. You can increase the supply to a maximum extent. That means if demand is 100, supply is 100. If you can increase demand from 100 to 200, if demand is increased from 100 to 200, then I will try my level best to increase the supply because there's a lot of demand. If I'm able to increase the supply to 200 from 100, so demand is increased from 100 to 200, supply also increases from 100 to 200. Wow. So there is an equality between demand and supply. When there's an equality between demand and supply, common sense in economics would tell us that when there's no shortage of demand or supply, you are not supposed to change the price. So therefore, price will be constant. And all the four factors are variable, means you can change all the four factors. You can change all the four factors. The price which is constant over here, we call it as normal price. Price which is constant over here is called what? Normal price. Simple logic. So in the long run, all the four factors are variable and supply can be increased to a maximum extent. Therefore, there's going to be an equality between demand and supply. When there's an equality between demand and supply, there is no shortage of demand or supply. Since there is an equality, you will not be able to increase the price. The price is going to be constant. The constant price, which is not changing, we call it as normal price. So therefore, normal price prevails in long run. Quickly, it's anyway recorded class. If in case you think that I went fast in any topic, what you can do nicely, you can go back and revisit once again, right? Or some very long run market. Sir, ye kya hai? Sir, four factors can be changed. Yes. Sir, supply can be changed. Yes. Then what is the difference between long run and very long run? Sometimes what happens, your supply changes not only because of the four factors, but also because of the other factors. Sometimes, just like this, sometimes you study not because you want to study, but because your friend is studying better. Same thing here. Here, supply in the very long run, supply not only changes because of the four factors, in fact, supply changes due to other factors. Sir, ye other factors bole to kya hai? Other factors means maybe sometimes I could increase my supply not only because of the factors that I can use them for production, but because of technology, because of population, because of taste and preferences, etc. Other factors. And so in the very long run, supply mostly will be changed, not only because of the four factors, but also because of the other factors, and mostly because of the other factors such as population, taste and preferences, climatic conditions, so on and so forth. Therefore, here price is increased or decreased is dependent on the other factors. Since it is not dependent on demand and supply, so that means if the technology is expensive, the price might be more. So Apple phone is charging more because of the technology. So the price is secular in the sense it is not dependent on demand and supply. It is dependent on other factors. Since the price in the very long run is dependent on the other factors, not on the demand and supply, we call it as secular price. We call it as what price? Secular price. So three prices. Market price is there in very short run. Normal price is there in long run. And very long run, secular price. In the very short run, all four factors are fixed. In the very short run, all four factors are fixed. In the short run, few factors are variable. That means at least one factor is fixed. In the long run, all four factors are variable. And in the very long run, it is not only the four factors that we are actually thinking about, it is other factors due to which supply changes. Therefore, price is not dependent on demand and supply over here. Price is dependent on other factors that influence the producer to supply more or less. Yes. Come back to your material. It says very shortened refers to a time which supply is fixed. Common sense. Like you see, commodities like vegetable, etc., you can't increase the supply, which are perishable, and the supply which cannot be changed easily. Example, if they ask you. And very short-term price is dependent on demand only. That is why an increase in demand will result simple. Short-term is a highly longer than okay. So here at least it supplies a given variable factors, means few factors are variable, moderately adjusted to certain extent. I gave it point. Long run means where all the four factors are variable. So supply can be adjusted. Since there is a difference, since there is no difference between supply and demand, price is going to be same. The price is called normal price, I said. All right. Next one, very long run. It's a secular movement. Certain factors, other factors like population, capital, supply, technology, raw material, etc., etc. In the very long run, your price is not dependent on the demand and supply. In the very long run, your price is dependent on other factors because of which your supply change. Hence, it is called secular price. Got it? Got it. Awesome. Move on to the next one. So on the basis of nature of transaction, we have spot, cash market. When the cash goods are delivered on spot, usually this is the word which we normally use in stock exchange. It says refer to those markets which are exchanged for money. So simply speaking, cash on delivery. Cash on delivery. When you go to the market, you just pay the price and purchase the vegetable. That is spot market. Future market in the sense where two people come to an agreement. Future market means where two people come to an agreement to deliver goods at a future date, to pay price at a future date. If you want to buy stocks, you can have an agreement today. You want to buy so and so stocks, so and so number of shares, and at so and so price. So when the seller and buyer came to an agreement that they would be delivering goods tomorrow, they would be paying price tomorrow. This is like future market. All right, as quickly as possible, because you're like marathon. What is that? What is that? Fast track revision. All right. Let us go, because what happens when you go through ICA textbook, there is a possibility you'll be able to guess the question if in case if there is any confusion. Okay. Next, we have based on regulations. We have regulation means controls here. Like banking sector is regulated by Reserve Bank of India. So banking sector is regulatory market. Stock exchange transactions are regulated by SEBI. Buying of shares, bonds, debentures, they are regulated by SEBI. So regulation, rules and regulations to regulate that market. Unregulated is not normal markets where there are no regulations. Like insurance sector is regulated by Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. Business commercial knowledge, you have that syllabus. Stock exchanges are regulated by SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India. And so banking is regulated by RBI, like this. Awesome. Next one, wholesale market. So basically bulk or large transactions. Generally in wholesale market, what happens? One businessman buys from another businessman. That means wholesaler will be buying a product from manufacturer. B2B, we call it as. Yes, retail market, basically businessman will sell it to customer. That means retailer selling the goods to customer is called retail market. And on the basis of competition, we have got two. One is perfectly competitive market and second one is imperfectly market. Under imperfect competition, we have got monopoly, monopolistic, oligopoly, etc. So types of markets based on this one. See, perfect competition means where there are large number of, the correct word to use for perfect competition is where there are large number of sellers. If you look at the agriculture products, you find lot of sellers selling the same vegetable. Absolutely, agriculture market, stock market, education market is a perfect competition. Though it is not, in reality, is not possible to satisfy all the conditions of perfect market. So under imperfect competition, in the sense number of sellers might be less. So when I talk about perfect competition, I'm actually talking about large number of sellers and buyers for a particular product. Say, for example, agriculture products have got lot of farmers selling it. Under imperfect competition, number of sellers could be less, could be many, could be some, etc. So we have got monopolistic competition where there are some sellers or many sellers. So for perfect competition, use the word large, and for monopolistic competition, use the word many. But only difference, sir. Perfect competition, there are large number of sellers. Monopolistic also, there are large number of sellers. Key difference you understand here. Here, I'm going according to the material. Key difference you understand is, sir, perfect competition means large number of sellers. Then monopoly also, he says many sellers. So student will get confused, sir. In the material, they mention many sellers for perfect competition, many sellers for monopolistic also. But remember, beta, in perfect competition, when there are a large number of buyers, they're all doing exactly, absolutely the same business, which means the product or a service is homogeneous. Under perfect competition, large number of sellers or many sellers are doing same business absolutely. Whereas monopolistic competition, many sellers, but each seller product is little different. Product nature could be the same. Like there could be a soap, there could be a car, there could be a mobile phone, but features are different. So under monopolistic competition, you do find many sellers, but each seller product is absolutely different in terms of packing, color, design, features, durability, etc. etc. That is the difference. So that's why textbook language, many sellers, both. In perfect competition, many sellers means many sellers, but products are absolutely same. Under monopolistic, many sellers, but products are slightly different from each other. Then we have monopoly, single seller market, like Indian Railways, they gave an example. And one more keyword is monopoly seller is something where he doesn't have a close competition. He might have a competition, but it's not close. Like Railways has a competition called flight. Railways has a competition called bus, but whatever service that Railways provide, they won't. So monopoly market is a situation where there's a single seller, no close substitutes. Example, Indian Railways. Oligopoly, oligo means few, poly means seller, few sellers market. Best example, telecom industry, water bottle industry, mineral water bottle industry, cool drink industry, you will find all these things. Overall, here one table is there in this topic. If you see on page number 4.6 in your ICA textbook, it says number of sellers, perfect competition very large, product differentiation is nil because all producers under perfect competition usually doing the same thing. Price elasticity of demand infinite. Under perfect competition, when everybody is doing same business, if one fellow reduces the price, his demand is going to be drastically affected. If all of us are doing exactly same business, one of us charges more, that fellow's demand will be affected. That means changing demand will be more. When changing demand is more, absolutely elasticity of demand is going to be perfect. Elasticity changing demand. So all are doing same business. You nicely charge 1 rupee extra. Who will come to you? You will lose the entire demand. So change in demand is drastic, right? When change in demand is very high, we call it as perfectly elastic, no? That elasticity concept also one lecture I'll record and give you. Simple. What you have to do afterwards, just go through the material and practice the questions which we are sharing. Degree of control over the price. Under perfect competition, common sense you apply. There are a large number of buyers and sellers. Everybody is absolutely doing the same business. Nobody will have any control over the price because all are doing the same business. Then everybody should be following the same price. That we'll see in the price revenue. This thing. Monopolistic, see number of sellers. Here product differentiation slightly is there. Price elasticity is large in the sense greater than 1. That we'll see in the features. I'll explain in detail. Degree of control, some control, because under monopolistic, though there are many sellers, each seller product is different. Since each seller product is different, what he thinks my product is different. So therefore, I have a control over the price. I charge more because my product is different. Automobile, cars, monopolistic. Oligopoly, small number, few sellers. Okay, product differentiation not so to a certain extent. Elasticity is less. Remember, all these 4 markets, I'm telling you, large number, highly elastic. Many sellers, greater than 1, more. Few sellers, less than 1. Monopoly, single seller, very less elasticity. Oligopoly, few sellers, less elasticity. Monopoly, one seller, very less elasticity. Perfect competition, large number, very high elasticity, like this. Yes. All right, guys. Now there are few concepts. This I will record in the next class. Have a great day. Please go through this and start reading. Last minute 3-4 days revision will help you a lot. All key points I'll throw it up. Just go through. You will be able to save your life from almost 60 to 70 marks. Good luck.